Peace. It's Brother Polight. We live and we direct. You know, I just came back from dealing with training with my daughter. And then I was doing a little workout as well. So, I'm with my mentee right here as well. One of my mentees, very proud of him. You know, another success story. I'm giving y'all a little more and more about the day. My brother right here is actually, you know, moving to Beverly Hills. Yeah. Get closer with his teacher. You heard? And just live the life. So I'm very proud of the fact that we at this level. He set up his income streams. He's on a whole nother level. And he's studying the language because I just officially made him, I'm going to use the word officer, but you know we got our own language. An officer. He has officership in the community now because he has a great deal of security training. And he's just a good guy. And I love his growth within the last month of working with him. He's already accelerating and getting these returns, flipping them, and he's just doing a great job. So much so that he just got him a dope crib.
Yeah, big time. Hard work, dedication, making it happen.
Yeah. Hold on. Yep.
Yeah. Breaking it down.
So, I just wanted to have a good bill with you about young leadership.
Wow.
And I was just talking to him, and I was just talking to another brother about leadership, and giving my brother advice here about leadership. And he has a background in which he definitely is acclimated to a lot of the themes that correspond with my ideals, my ideas about leadership. And I wanted y'all to share this video with young leaders, whether they are in contention with me or not. And then even some of the little bit older leaders, I suppose. Not too much young leaders going around, but for those that are young and getting some attention, I wanted to really have a good build about what it takes to be a leader. All right? And those of you interested, of course, in the mentorship program, let me type that in there, conscious advisory. Let me put that in there, Brother Polight. Leave your full name and phone number. You know what's funny? People be asking me, how come you don't put up testimonials and this and when I thought about it, I was looking through my timeline. I actually do be putting up people.
Yeah.
I just don't make a concerted effort to do so. But I do go on live and show you people live and direct
that you can contact and
talk to, and support. And like I said, my brother, you know, I don't pull his business out, but he's more than 4 figures in.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he's doing, and like I said, he's following the working model. You know, get yourself in a progressive community because it's going to help you think better. You're going to create more. The more, since you've been coming in this community, he's been extremely creative and even more focused than he's ever been before. Very determined, and he has his outline for how his next 6 months is going to look straightforward to a year. And these are things that you need to consider. You got to be able to forecast money. And as y'all keep coming in, I'm gonna have a build. This is a very important build. You gotta be able to forecast money. So first of all, what are some of the things that Brother Polight teaches before we get into this leadership? Because leadership got to get into this. Leadership got to get into this information. You feel me? Leadership has to really engage this information. I didn't write all these books for no reason. Okay? So let's start off with this. You need to have a 50-30-20 disposition as far as finance is concerned when you first start. And that is 50% of your monies needs to go towards your obligations. And 30% of your monies goes towards miscellaneous. But that miscellaneous is very important because that miscellaneous keeps your sanity. Because after you work hard to pay your bills, you need 30% for maybe recreational things like going out to dinner, going out to the movies, paying for your internet and things of that nature, just to keep your sanity and connect with the outer world and people that you like to associate with. That's very important. And then you have your 20%, which is broken up into your investments and your debt, right? And your savings. And what I teach, the word savings is synonymous with investing. Therefore, if you're just putting money to the side and it's doing nothing, then you're not saving, because we made the word saving synonymous with investing. There are no risk investments that exist out there that I would suggest, rather than you put your monies in the bank for it to do nothing, you can make 700% out of what they would give you in return for a CD account just through either tax lien investing or maybe treasury direct accounts funding. There's different things you can do that require patient money, which is money to take a longer period of time to return. But if you truly meant that you were putting money up with no intention to spend it, it'd be best to put your money somewhere, no risk, where it will make more money. And even if it doesn't make you more than 30% on a return or 20% on a return, it is better than what you would get putting in the bank for over a year and doing nothing. So saving has to be synonymous with investing. And 50-30-20 is the principle. 50% obligation, 30% miscellaneous, but that keeps you sane. And then 20%, adding up to 100, entails investing and saving. Another thing we have to learn is that we should always be able to invest 1/3 of our income. Invest 1/3 of our income. Why we want to invest 1/3 of our income? Because if you're not able to invest 1/3 of your income, you're in a very precarious situation. What does this mean? We know that according to the Standard & Poor's or S&P index, we're supposed to be making over 150 grand a year. Well, I'm not going to say we're supposed to be making over 150 grand a year. I'm going to say we should be aspiring to make over 150 grand a year, because that's where wealth begins. And only 5% of people in America, per se, but this information is not limited to people world over. I'm using America as an example. Only 5% of Americans have wealth. Only 5% of Americans have wealth. Walk with me. Only 5% of Americans have wealth. Inside of that 5% that have wealth, there are about 44 million black people that's in America.
44.
And in that 44 million black people that's in America, only a few thousands of us have become millionaires. Let's consider last year, there have been over 740,000 new millionaires. Are any of those people you? See, these statistics are very important, because we're going to talk about who built the pyramids. We're going to talk about the Belt of Orion, Anitak, Anilam, and Mintaka, and how it's aligned with Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, the 3 pyramids at Giza. We're going to talk about how the Nile corresponds with the Milky Way, and how the Sphinx corresponds with the Leo constellation. We're going to talk about these pyramidal structures being on the northern tropic or the Tropic of Cancer 32-degree line of latitude, and how there's no coincidence that world over we see so many pyramids on that line of latitude. We're going to accredit ourselves for these amazing tasks, for this real estate that has been erected thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
We're going to take the credit for that. But we're not going to own the fact that we're living in poverty today and it's hard to get out the projects or lower income communities. You can't do both. And so I commission my good brothers and my sisters to take heed to the words that I have right now. You know, I wasn't supposed to be doing those streams with the knowledge and all this stuff right about now. I'm just focused on my daughter, and I'm pushing relationships with your children. Doesn't have to be exclusive to just daddy and their children or daddy daughter. It's just something that I'm emphasizing, because I want to push those images as well. So we have a job on our hands. So I have to diversify what I present visually, because so many things need to be addressed in our community. But the spirit is right and the mood is right, so I just wanted to build with y'all and just put this information forth for free. Okay, and like I said, if you're interested, oh man, you know what? I didn't pin it. Let me do it again. If you're interested in the Conscious Advisory, consulting by the hour, which is $200 an hour.
300 in person. Come through. Some life-changing information.
Number and subject. Okay, you can go to Brother Polight 45. I'm pinning it. Always leave your full name and your phone number for the Conscious Advisory Consulting. consultants, $200 hour course, mentoring on a month-to-month basis. That's going to cost. It's one fee, but I'll be there for you and we'll grind. So 50, 30, 20. I came in late. What is 50, 30, 20? I'm going to say this again for the person that said they came in late. What's up? No problem. Yeah, so 50, 30, 20. I'm going to go over it just for the people that just came in and said that they might have missed it. I see OJ Love said he missed it. 50% of your money should be allocated towards obligations, the main bills you need to pay, like the car you need to go to work, the mortgage you have to pay to keep your house, things of that nature. 30% is for your miscellaneous, but don't let the word miscellaneous throw you off. By miscellaneous, we mean the things that keep you sane. Because if you're only working and you're not spending your money on something that keeps you sane, like going to the movies, going to restaurants, maybe it is buying a sneaker or two, or pants, or treating yourself, you know? And then some of the miscellaneous is things you don't necessarily need, but it's still requisite to the things that have to go on day to day. Like for instance, you may not necessarily need to pay for internet service because you could probably use your phone as a hotspot. But it would be more befitting if you didn't have to use your phone all the time and you actually had a service outside of it that you can access. So stuff like that, miscellaneous. Miscellaneous sometimes can be a bit obligatory. But most times, unless it is recreational in the sense you don't really need it, on a paper level you don't need it, but on a social level you do. Like I said, to keep your sanity. And then 20% entails that you have investments and your debt and your savings. But as I teach, savings has to be synonymous with what? Investing. So 50, 30, 20 principle is important. Now that we got that out the way, 50, 30, 20, as far as principle is concerned with monies, you need to be able to break up your monies like that. Month to month, you need to say to yourself, how can I break up my monies? 50%, 30%, and 20%. I'm getting off a mentoring session right now with my mentee. I'm being real slick right here. You know what I'm saying? He getting his session, and y'all getting a free session right now. You feel me? So, and again, if you miss this is my man right here, France.
Bonjour, Haïtien qui j'en ai là.
There you go, and I'm proud of him. He's moving to Beverly Hills
Deserve.
From the new income streams and everything that he's been setting up with me. In this month, he's been working very hard and making it move. He's been working in the real estate. He's been doing an extremely great job. I'm proud of him.
And a lot of y'all stay focused, for real, because I came from just watching the videos, setting those notifications, paying attention whenever I got time. I'm working. Instead of, hey, I'll trade listening to an album to listening to Polight breakdown. Streams of income any day. How to take care of my credit.
My brother been traveling from what, San Jose?
San Jose, yeah.
To come down whenever I'm available. He'll come down. He say, look, if all it is a drive,
let me know,
brother. If I don't have to do the phone call, I'll come see you in person. I'm like, yo, and I give it up. You know how I give it up. I'll be like, okay, I'm cool. I'm with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So let's get that in. Let's get that in. So now 50, 30, 20 is the principle. Saving has to be synonymous with investing. And what I meant by that was, if you're going to put your money up with the intention to not spend it, then you might as well put that same money up somewhere where it will make you a return, no matter how long it will take, because you said you're saving it in the first place. Now, what many of us mean by save is, I'm putting this money up so I can tap into it for something recreational. And that's why I told you need to break the monies up into 50, 30, 20. So the 20 that you got over there, you definitely know with the 20% here, there's monies here inside this 20% that I can put away for a no-risk investment in order that I may make a return. You walking with me? Because after all, if you have no intention to spend it, it should be no problem being patient, waiting for something to come back. We can't always live by I'm going to flip this money inside 1 week, 2 weeks, and boom. You can't always live and die by that, all right? And with that may come risk as well, like most things you deal with. But there are some things you can put monies into, and it'll take a longer time to return. Nonetheless, it will return. So why not get 15, 20% back on your monies? slowly if you was going to wait as long to just put money up. And that's why it's important to have your 50, 30, 20% principal. So you should be home already dividing it up. 50% of my money is obligation, 30% of my money is recreation, 20% of my money is debt and savings. But savings is synonymous with investing. So it's debt, savings, investing. But the trick of the matter is that savings is investing. Now, another thing you need to do is make sure that you invest 1/3 of your income. You're able to invest 1/3 of your income without compromise to who and what you are, which takes us back to the fact that only 5% of all Americans have wealth. And an even smaller percentage are black people that make up over 44 million people in America. And our millionaires are only in the thousands. Okay? So we have thousands of millionaires in America. True. We do. 740,000 new people have arrived into the millionaire status last year. And I always ask, are you any of the 740,000? So what it's showing us apparently is it's becoming easier to become a millionaire, right? Because we're in the most entrepreneurial paradigm ever. We're in the most entrepreneurial paradigm ever. It's easier than it's ever been before. Yet, there's still a disconnect, and the disconnect is strategy. The disconnect is strategy, all right? And so, we need to get to the point of strategy. So first strategy is 50, 30, 20. Saving is synonymous with investing, and you should be able to invest 1/3 of your incomes without issue. And if you cannot invest 1/3 of everything you get, if you're not in the discipline, that means if you can't invest 1/3 of everything you have, win, lose, or draw, and still live the same way you've been living. You see, that's the thing. When we say invest 1/3 of your income, we're not saying roll the dice. We're saying you should be able to invest 1/3 of your income without problem. After you invest 1/3 of your income, right? Now look, watch how you got to factor in. We got the 50, 30, 20 principle, right? So now that we have income and expenses rationed out, you're still supposed to be able to invest 1/3 of the total without issue. Or we put it as standard, you should be able to invest at least 50 grand a year. Why would we say that? Because if wealth begins at $150,000 upward, you're supposed to be able to invest at least 1/3 of that, which is 50 grand. And whether you completely lost it all, but we don't deal with losses, we deal with lessons. We never lose. Words are GPS for reality. So when we're supposed to be able to put money up, and if nothing happens with it, that 100 grand secures the way we live. I'm not telling you to live below your means, but you should if it's hard to meet this criteria. But we're supposed to be able to say, I put this money up towards this, that, and the other. Got nothing back, but it doesn't affect my world at all. And that will be established if you start off with 50, 30, 20, work your way to 1/3 of investing your income, then the 50, 30, 20 ratio can now be altered. First, you're going to start off with 50, 30, 20. That's the novice level.
Okay.
Then you're going to work your way to the 1/3, because that's where you're supposed to be at. You don't necessarily have to be at 50K to do the 1/3, but that's got to be the mentality. The mentality first is 50, 30, 20. Once you set up your 50, 30, 20 principle, now you're going to look at it and determine if you can do 1/3. By you doing 1/3, you're going to have to cut into your miscellaneous, right?
Yep.
And some of your debt. See, so now you're talking about factorization at this particular point. Okay, and that's where we're going to be at with this conversation. But the goal is, can I invest a 1/3 of my income and still live the same way, win, lose, or draw? That's where you want to be at. Because now you can make better decisions when it comes to investing, because people's number one decision when it comes to investing is, what if I lose? And if you're thinking like that going into the investment, you have no business investing in the first place, because too much stuff is on the line. And if too much stuff is on the line to invest, they've already compromised you. You've already been compromised, because if I can't make decisions based on how much there is at stake to lose, the only thing that's left for me is some crazy idea that I can get my money in 24 hours, flip, crazy stunts and schemes, right? One. Or two, don't do nothing at all and complain about my situation and say no one's teaching us, no one's giving us the real math or the real knowledge. I'm stuck. So this is the principle to which end we can thrive or facilitate our cause. Because we can't just be sitting here afraid of success. They made us afraid of success because you have to put something towards it to get something back. And the second you start getting ready to put something towards it, you're like, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, and don't let that face be black. Because guess what's going to happen if that face is melanated? Let me say that. You can't name one person in the melanated community that teaches you anything about economics that they haven't said is doing something wrong. You can't name one. And if you think I'm lying, just put the word scam next to anyone that's black that's teaching about money.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. And that is not a coincidence. You cannot tell me everybody that's black is doing something wrong that teaches about money. Now, the UFO Negroes is safe, most of them. The astrologist people are safe, most of them. But the people who talk about money, there's a concerted effort. If they come in my complexion, there's a campaign to remove the conviction of faith, move the conviction of engaging those people. And the only ones you'll have left are the financial institutions that been robbing you, that been confirmed, such as the banks, that they've been stealing all these years.
Yeah.
I still get emails to this day from Wells Fargo class action suits and reports of misappropriating funds and mortgage fraud from Bank of America. Yo, this is true. There's not one institution that you entrust to give you loans that is not caught up in fraud. In fact, the two most appraised institutions that you are told to go to get your knowledge, to get a house, or to be able to thrive in society are the ones that put people in the most debt. And they're the ones who educate you into going into the debt because you're not entrusting going anywhere else for knowledge. And those are the banking institutions and the educational institutions. The educational institutions will put you in student loan debt in a heartbeat, and the banking institutions will put you in real estate debt in a heartbeat. And we beg for these people to tell us what is the best decision for me to make, and then they come up with the price, and then you get approved and you get money. This is all facts. And then they'll send you emails and apologize for the scams. And still be open for business, and people still open more accounts with them every day. How sweet is that? Yeah. But you'll see this complexion and you're like, nah, I heard. You heard. You ain't hear about the hundreds of millions of dollars and the billions of dollars that's been stolen by these banks that you just opened up your account with? What you heard? But this is supposed to be a message for young leadership, so we're going to keep going. But first of all, the reason why I started off this conversation with economics in terms of young leadership is because they have to live out the economic practices that make you materially successful, so that you don't lead people astray. Because if all I have to offer you is gossip as a younger teacher, then all you will do as a follower is gossip. If I've conditioned you to go online to hear something negative about somebody else, then you've been conditioned to look for that type of research. It's not empowering, it's disempowering. Oui. So if I spend hours always listening to you and you spend hours always talking about someone else, I'm likely to spend my hours when I'm not listening to you doing the same thing that you do because you're my teacher and I'm following you. Facts. If you spend hours listening to me teach, that what you learned about is what you're more likely engage after me and during me. Right? So that's the conversation. And that's why when you see me post, despite the fact I'm still dealing with some people that need to be dealt with, it don't suffice for me to make it a recurring theme online. And I may update my brothers and sisters here and there, but my media has to be saturated with what I have to offer so that when this stream is over, you continue to go out on your search to get more information to empower yourself and your family. So that's first and foremost. They have to become more astute in economics. Why? Because people are listening to you, and if they're walking with you, if you point them in that direction, it can set their path in the right direction. And that's what we want. So we want to spend a lot of our time teaching about things that can empower your daughter, your son, your niece, your aunts, your uncles, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, yourself as a family person. You know, that's very important. And so we discuss 50-30-20. We discuss investing 1/3 of your income without compromise. We want you to invest 1/3 of your income without compromise. That means that win, lose, or draw. But mind you, we don't say lose. We say learn or lesson. So we take wins and lessons. We don't take wins and losses. We always are able to devise a new plan from previous experiences. And we understand that words are a GPS for reality. So we won't associate certain negative terms with powerful experiences. So what they call a loss is a powerful experience that precipitates a lesson. I don't care what kind of loss someone has categorized it as. It is a lesson onto you. And by making it a lesson, it removes you from the fear and the stigma of having to engage again in the future. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you lose, the stigma from losing is embarrassing. And you don't want to revisit the vibrations that come with that word loss and the energy and emotions thereof. But if I got a lesson, I know what a lesson means and represents to me. A lesson tells me, one, from this, I only could grow, and there'll be more to gain in the future. And in fact, I'll be more prepared in the future. Because this was the first lesson. And you don't just get one lesson, you get a lesson after a lesson after a lesson. So if I turn my losses into lessons, I never have a stigma. In fact, I'll be more enthused to continue my path. Because if I have a lesson, I have a path. Now I'm dealing with succession. So inevitably, I will be successful. And that's what the ION is as a suffix. It's a condition. It means that something will perpetuate itself. So in order to be a success, I have to have a successor, right? So someone had to do it that I can use as a personal reference. So to be a success, I have to have a successor. And therefore, when I come after them, there is a succession. Okay, and the ION is a condition. So it means it is something that perpetuates itself. So we're going to perpetuate success. So there's going to be a succession of events called lessons. And in lessons, it's not a matter of winning or losing. It's a matter of learning. That's why the L's we talking about are lessons and learn. Okay? And we say this because words are GPS for reality. We can't afford to incapacitate ourselves in fear of what the future may hold. Right?
Yeah.
Because neurologically, there's a network that connects with our emotions and recreates the same experiences over and over in our head, depending on how we relate to them. So we can put ourselves into a mental prison from previous events that existed. And then when someone brings to your attention new and qualified information that you can look up and say, man, this information is absolutely true, then guess what happens? You'd be so scared because, you know, such and such did this to me in the past. You know, this person did this to me before. So you start, first thing someone says when there are opportunities in front of them is all the impossibilities that exist because of previous thing that's transpired. And now, it's the only way we've learned how to be wired. It's the only way we learn how to think. We think we're thinking, where in fact, we're stigmatized by previous events. So I think I'm thinking, but all I'm doing is resurfacing previous discontent and shortcomings. Because that is my perspective. Is the glass half full or is it half empty? See, so new opportunity comes before you, and the first thing that you have in your mind is when you're confronted with a new opportunity, the first thing that registers in your mind is the pain that you experienced from a previous experience. And this experience is totally different from that one, but somehow you made an association with it. But how many times have we experienced something good, and when someone presents something to us, we relate the possibilities to something good?
Yeah.
Very, very few, little to none. But let someone present to you a positive opportunity and watch how quickly you go to something negative because you are afraid of success. Because you're dealing in a paradigm of failure. You're dealing in a paradigm of losses where people say, hold this L, hold this L. You're so afraid of losing. The stigma from previous experiences incapacitates you from moving forward. So you get told good and you think bad. Yeah. You get told bad and you think bad. So all you do is think bad, and you think you have a positive outlook, and you think you're being a smart investor. Being a smart investor doesn't really entail associating a previous experience with somebody you had with new information you've just encountered. No, smart consumerism is about connecting with people who have experiences and have succeeded. It's about doing research, doing your due diligence, you know, before executing or engaging. Like, that's what it is. Not, oh, I'm smart because I'm just questioning based on previous failures. That doesn't make you sharp. That makes you a victim, and that makes you stagnated. Because if you walk into anything with this fear, you're bound to magnetize yourself to the failures. All right? So that's one way to look at it. All right? Being afraid of success. That's one way to look at it. So now, let's really start factoring some things in now. Let's really think about something. We did the 50, 30, 20. And no, I don't repeat things because I'm losing my mind. It's the way I've learned how to remember information. So for those of you that say, man, dang, this brother got quite a bit of memory. The reason I got a memory is because I spend less time writing and I spend more times repeating. I repeat the same thing so many times over and over and over. In my head, when I learn something, I like something, I just say it over and over until I get it. So sometimes people say, man, you know, he spent the first 30 minutes saying the same thing over. No, I said the same thing over several different ways in hopes that the people that I'm sharing it with eventually just pick it up. I say 50, 30, 20, 50, 30, 20, 50, then you got it 50, 30, 20. If I say obligation, miscellaneous, debt, and investments, but keep in mind, savings is synonymous with investments. So rather than me saying savings, investments, and debt, just understand, I make savings and investments synonymous, and I told you under what pretense. See, if I say this over and over, it's very likely you pick it up. It's very likely you just pick it up. So no, I'm not saying this stuff by accident. You know, and then so you have the invest 1/3 of your income comfortably, meaning without compromise. You have to get to the point where you can say, I'm taking 1/3 of this, and no matter what the outcome is, it doesn't change my living situation. See, that's when when we say where wealth begins, the reason why they say wealth begins there is because if you took 1/3 of your income out like you're supposed to be able to do, your lifestyle wouldn't be affected. So the way they determine where wealth begins is based on how much you can invest out of what you get per annual. See? That's the trick to it. So we can keep enough people outside of where wealth begins, they'll never be able to invest comfortably. Meaning, when they do invest and they lose, as many of us put in our mind, instead of see lessons and do it again, guess what happens? You'll probably never invest again for a very long time. And you'll probably say to yourself for the rest of your life, you know what you'll say? The reason I failed is because I dealt with this person here and it didn't work out. And so now my wife left me. I don't got my house. And now you'll be like, damn, one person did all that to you? Yeah. And how long ago this happened? 5 years ago. You still living in that moment? You're just looking for an excuse. You're a failure, bro. Just say that. You're a failure and you love failure. We love to be victims, so we got an excuse to not succeed. You came out at the same damn year. You came out at the same month. But it was a lot easier for you to have a shortcoming and let that shortcoming perpetuate itself throughout the rest of your failing existence. Yeah, it's true. So you got grown men. Oh, the reason my life is hell, my wife left me, I ain't got no house, and I got no food on the stove, and now I'm homeless, is because this thing didn't work out over there. That's all we've been waiting for. In fact, some people really don't want to succeed. They would be more happy if things didn't work out the first time they attempted, so they never got attempted again, because we're afraid of success. Now you got another group of people who have wealth. And so they say, we have this money to go over here. But guess what? no matter what we do, when we throw this money over here for investing, we'll always make more than we would have lost. Why? Because these investments are going to be educational. And chances are they have wealth for the very reason they're able to invest in the first place. So you see, it kind of puts you in a position where it's like, okay, we good. We can make sense out of it. Okay? We can make sense out of this stuff. And that's what the goal is, to make sense out of all this information. To make as much sense out of this information as possible. And so, message to the young leadership out there. You know, when I first got conscious, I couldn't control who I was listening to or why I liked what they said. It resonated with me, the information, or some part of the information. I was with it. When I first got conscious, I read Dr. York's Mind Book, The Mind Book and Your Potential, and I was like, yo, those books are very good. You know, and it really made me become very introspective. I read The Sacred Wisdom of Tahuti, I read Jesus Found in Egypt, and I read Let's Set the Record Straight. And those 5 books really put me in a different space, because then I started divulging into religion, and like, yo, you know, I was thinking about some of these things. But the main ones was The Sacred Wisdom to Tahuti, Your Potential, and the Mind Book. I read those, and I was like, man, this is powerful. And, you know, I joined his community. There was an organizational fold. There was an actual community. It transcended organization. It was community. You know, they had food, their own clothes. You know, this stuff is like, they had their own land. These flags, I'm like, woo, okay. Language, I'm like, okay. So we see this structure very similar with Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, with Marcus Garvey, with Noble Drew Ali, with the Father Allah, or some say Clarence 13X. We see organization. I came in on the cusp of that. For the last organizers, we see Minister Louis Farrakhan, forgive me, almost left him out. And so these guys are organizers. They put together whole communities. They have farmland, they have newspaper publications. They take it past the level of just organization, but nonetheless, it's organizational. Then you come in with the next level. The next era, which is more lectures, right? And there's organization there, but just not exactly like the ones I just described. So, you know, you have in the transition, you have John Henrik Clarke, Dr. Ben. These are scholars now. There's another, and I'm not saying the other people are not scholars, of course, but their strengths definitely was organization. And
big time.
They made a composite of the scholarship and using the scholarship as a catalyst to organize, right? Or the information that they was disseminating was the catalyst to which they can organize. But here we have John Henrik Clarke, we got Dr. Ben, we got Theophila Benga, okay, Jewel Pookrum, all right, Clarence Cress Wilson, we have, who else? Ivan Van Sertima, we have, we can't forget the New Black Panther Party with the organizing, Malik Zul-Shabazz, you know, so, you know, we have these things that we have to really consider as far as individuals are concerned. And then we come over more contemporary. We got Dr. Phil Valentine, Dr. Africa, Dr. Sabi. You know, everybody's a doctor in this genre, right? But these are lecturers nonetheless for the most part. These are people functioning in their individual capacity.
True.
Right?
True.
So we had the organizers, nation builders, then we had the lecturers, scholars, right? And I don't say this to make a differentiation to be disrespectful to nobody or undermine anybody. I'm saying these are different eras, right? So we go from the organizational brothers and sisters to the lecturing, scholarly, individual brothers and sisters who educate. And so there's a lack of the organizational fold for the community. And now the era that we're in is the virtual following.
Everyone.
Because Marcus Garvey, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the likes, they went viral without the internet. They had to work to get their views. They had to work to build. They had to be on the streets. They had to speak. Malcolm X, all these people had to go out there, right? And so today is more about a virtual following. The supporters may not actually be active, and the actual leader may not be active. It's all for show. It's all upload. And
okay.
the brothers and sisters who put that work in the past, they didn't get coins or were able to monetize from white ads or white companies soliciting their products in the interim of the black message. So things are different. And we do got to adapt and adjust. But for the message to the young leadership, what y'all need to do is go vintage a little bit and get out on them streets. When I put my pain in, I had to get on the streets. I had to talk outside on the streets. I did it like I seen the pros do it, to develop an organic following, a faithful following, a committed following. I went out there and I spoke with people directly. Those people can now express legend. Those people can now turn around and tell other people, you know what? I seen this brother teach on the streets. I seen it myself. I felt it myself.
I got to feel that,
You feel me? So today is more of an uploading crisis. Anyone just uploads and they have opinions about people instead of social occurrences, instead of current events. Most times these people upload, they're talking about the character of another one of their own brothers or sisters. That was unspoken of in the past. In the past, there might have been some strife amongst black leadership, but their focus and their priority was against oppression of black people. So they didn't intend to oppress their own people in the process. So it's a different persuasion. Also, our new leadership is self-appointed.
Self-appointed.
They cannot be criticized. They cannot be reprimanded. They curse entirely too much. They don't have no concern for their language and how offensive they may be in their communications. You may say, man, we don't care if somebody's offended so long as it's the truth. You don't want to offend your people in the process, do you? When you're teaching? So they can't be reprimanded. And the reason why they're not reprimanded is because they're not in an organizational fold. So who can tell a young brother or sister that they've gone astray if they're not even in an organization?
What good does that do us?
I've had to be sat down. I had to be reprimanded. I had to be told don't speak for an indefinite time. I had to feel like it ain't fair, but I had to man up and follow instructions. You know, I worked with Malik Zulu Shabazz of the New Black Panther Party before I even got into the conscious community. I was under Dr. York when I first got conscious. I was in the Masonic Lodge, Deputy Supreme Grand Master. Okay, jurisdiction going from Canada down to the Mason-Dixon line. I was in positions of leadership. I was dethroned and worked my way back up. I was silenced and then I could speak again. It built character in me. It built patience. It built discipline. And later on, I found out sometimes I was just being tested to see if I could follow instructions if things didn't go my way.
That's it. Yeah.
If I was man enough to be told what to do at the moment where I had the momentum and all the attention on me. Could I be told, fade to black? I was told before when Obama got into office, don't say nothing good nor bad about him.
All right, sir.
But why? Why? Now, I'm not telling y'all not to question people, but when you're in an organizational fold, sometimes there's no question.
For real life.
If we in the streets, we in community, somebody doing a lecture, ask all the questions you want. But when you're in an organizational fold and there's a tier system and there's a directive given, sometimes you just do. Unless it fights against your morality, then you know you get out of that. But if it don't seem like something against your morality, it's more of your ego, then don't ask why. Just do the damn thing. Okay? So, I'm saying I know protocols. I'm saying you don't have to come to me for advice. Go to somebody else. What I'm saying is make sure the people you connect with, that you're learning from, have credibility based on experience. How many people, I know I can say for me, my resume is a heck of a resume. I can say that I've taught alongside on the same stage. How many people can say this in one lifetime? I've taught next to Dr. Sabi. First of all, that ain't gonna be said by nobody. As a brother, I taught next to Dr. Sabi on stage. Dr. Africa, Ashwa Kwesi, Phil Valentine, Dr. Delbert Blair. We can keep going on and on and on. I stood on the same stage. I've opened up for the greats. I shared platforms with these people. How many people could just say they did that? Not even the leaders that I mentioned did it with each other. Okay? Think about that. Not even the leaders I just mentioned shared the stage with each other. All those names. Maybe in some combinations. I ain't mentioned everybody. Those are the ones that come to mind. Ashwa Kwesi, Dr. Phil Valentine, Dr. Africa, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Delbert Blair. It's like, come on. Lester Lovins. Lloyd Strayhorn. Queen of Four. Ma'a from Fig Tree. Like, how many people can say they sat there or they shared the stage with those people? How many people can say, yo, they was under the master teacher? How many people can say they was under Dr. Sabi? Yeah. Okay? How many people say they had jurisdiction at a young age and just coming out my teens from Canada down to the Mason-Dixon line, leading a whole lodge? I was worshipful master when I was like 21. Deputy Grand Master. First of all, you have to have 3 subordinate lodges to have a Grand Lodge, and most lodges don't have a Supreme Grand Lodge. They don't get that far in membership. So I'm saying, working with the new Black Panther Party, under the Masonic Lodge, in high-ranking position. Setting up jurisdictions. Real talk. I mean, and then you could turn around and you could say, name your number 1 female athlete. Name your number 1 male athlete. Name your number 1 comedian. Name your number 1 actor. Name them. And would they be able to name Brother Polight? Yes, they will. It's a heck of a resume.
Oh. Real life.
These ain't just photo ops now.
35 years.
Who can say that? People that have been around, people that have influenced, people that have called out for my services to be rendered on to them. Because no matter how easy people attempt to make this thing sound, oh man, he live in Hollywood so he can just walk around bumping to somebody. Oh man, you know, he's a groupie. First of all, a male groupie is not going to get access to Floyd Mayweather, Serena Williams, Sean Puffy Combs, Chris Tucker, Chris Rock, who else? Denzel Washington. I mean, we can keep this thing going on and on and on and on and on. I mean, come on, like at some point you gotta stop. I'm in people's homes, I'm traveling the world with other people. Like at some point you gotta just say, man, you gonna make this so simple. It was so damn simple. A lot of us would be in a better position right now if it was so damn simple. And all I'm saying is, you can take me out of the conscious community and I'm relevant like a mug. You can take me out the celebrity community and I'm relevant like a mug. Who can you say thrive in both worlds? Shared stages, platforms, or rendered services to the elite in both communities. I think I have a say when it's time for advice. I think so. Okay? Boyce Watkins, yeah. Shared the stage with him too. Yep. Facts. You can keep on naming them. I'm saying no one has the track record like I got when it comes to sharing the stage, being at the disposal of, being under, or studying from, no one got that. That's what's unique for me. That's not something someone can take. Dr. Ben, there's a video out there on YouTube. I still got it on my documentary, where he commissioned me to continue fulfilling his mission, traveling back and forth to Kemet, just hours before this man has died. When I say hours, I don't mean inside the same day. But he passed away a few days from the time he commissioned me. It happened to be on video. Everybody can pick up Dr. Ben, say that that's their teacher, be studied from, learn from his. I ain't mad at it. Keep your experiences. But that man is going down in history as one of our greatest scholars. And I was commissioned by one of our greatest scholars to continue his mission and continue to go back and forth to Kemet to teach. And it's on video. Dr. Sebi is going down in history as the greatest healer we've ever been confronted with. Undoubtedly. One in the Supreme Court filing in the 80s. Fully exonerated for saying he had the cure for sickle cell cancer and diabetes, and proved it, and they had to free him. And that man is on video saying he heard Polight was going to be. Jenny told him, his secretary, that Polight was going to be in LA during the lecture, and Dr. Sebi said himself, I got to get out there. Dr. Sebi would fly into town just to hear me lecture. Dr. Sebi would come into my home, sleep there, and hang out. We would argue over me not letting him smoke weed in my house. We go to Gracias de Madres and eat in LA. I went city to city teaching by his side. He never did that with no other brother. City to city teaching by his side. He would not allow another teaching to go up there, even if you agree with him. But he's on video. My Facebook, my Instagram, on video, giving me the highest praises and love. Who can say that? People can tell you they was close to Dr. Sebi, but Dr. Sebi made it clear how close he and I was. See, it's one thing when you self-profess, but I got the videos where Dr. Sebi makes it clear how much he loves Brother Polight. And how when Brother Polight teaches, he traveled just to come hear me speak. Who can say Dr. Ben told them to continue his mission and continue to go back and forth to Egypt and have the proof without it being self-professed? I can say it, and it's posted. I live one heck of a life. And Queen Afua identified me as one of her sons. Undoubtedly one of the greatest healers in our era. And greatest women, speakers, orators of our era. Has adopted me as her son. Who can say that? And in this era, it's been recorded.
Facts.
And for all of you that's into Egyptology, who can say they recorded every aspect of the walls that makes up the pyramid text? Coming from Unis, Pepi, and Teti. Who can say that? I was called an agent, I was called everything else, but what I wasn't called was zealous, inspired, and motivated. Who brought you back all those bodies and those images? Video images, because the era that we in. I solidified my space and what I do and how I do it. And even someone says, this is all ego. No, we're going to put these things in proper perspective. That this was all in a lifetime, and I'm 35, and I only got conscious when I'm 19. So understand this. Understand this, people. This is a 16-year run. This is a 16-year run now. In 16 years, I've accomplished quite a bit because I got conscious when I was 19. This is a 16-year run to share the stage with so many people, to be espoused to so many influencers outside of the conscious community, outside the celebrities in the conscious community, the celebrities in the world community. And again, I didn't give myself Nasu Amun Re Sinatum Re. And the perversion of the word Nasu is Sutin. My teacher named me Nasut because he understood the honorific transposition in the Medu Neter. No flack to nobody. But I ain't give myself my name. I ain't self-appointed. I was given True Light. I was given Nep Nawar Tumre, Nasu Amun Re Sina Tumre. I ain't never make up my names. Not even Polight. Not even Brother Polight. All of this were names from attributes that people seen in me. Only thing that I did was give meaning to the letters in Polight. Pride, optimism, love, integrity, gallant, honesty, and trust. You feel me? So I've stood the test of time, and I've been around the greatest minds, had the most amazing conversations in private with the greatest minds that we've been presented with. Who can say that a man building a whole city in Accra, Ghana, made sure he fully accommodated for me? From the time I got off the plane in Ghana, there was a Bentley and a driver waiting out there for me. Government officials driving and making sure they stop traffic while I'm in the car with the woman that I arrived with, Victoria. Who can say that this prince is who I'm talking about would invite me, create opportunities for me to meet Prince Charles and all these other people when I go to Ghana? See, people don't even understand how deep this thing goes. If y'all only knew, y'all really be calling me Illuminati. Yeah, and some of y'all doing it anyway.
Really.
Now, I don't mind if it's the black Illuminati. I don't mind us having our own agenda to rule the world. I don't mind. But, yo, the things that I know, the people I've talked to just be around billionaires and 100 millionaires that are black and be able to pick their mind and for them to say, we love yours. And for many of you to see me who knew I used to teach in the trains and sell my flyers in the hopes to open up a bookstore. And one bookstore became two, two became three, three became four. And then I opened up a restaurant. Dr. Sabi helped fund it. He gave me 15 grand towards it. I had an alkaline restaurant. That's where I got espoused to A.A. Rashid and Red Pill in time. Blue Pill was already coming to one of my bookstores in Utica between Bergen and St. Mark's when I was doing my meditations and my prayers. And one of the languages that I speak, you could question all these, oh, he don't speak no other languages. Blue Pill would tell you. Take nothing from those brothers. I still love those brothers. He'd tell you. Oh no, the vibrations was off the chain. It was very positive. That's how I met him. I met those brothers before I got in the conscious community. All those brothers before I got in the conscious community. And my introduction into the conscious community was doing a lecture with Dr. Sabi in Brooklyn on Utica Avenue in a church. My introduction to the conscious community. My first lecture in the conscious community was with Dr. Sabi. That's how many people got introduced to me. Then I went to Atlanta and taught with Dr. Sabi. Then I had a meeting of the minds I was supposed to be at that was going to take place in Bushwick. And I had a whole new drive. This when Sabi and Dr. York got connected. And we was all together rocking. And then I got locked up for murder. And when I came home, nobody wanted to associate with me. Not even the Wapians. Nobody wanted to deal with me. But guess who took me under their wing and got me back into teaching when I felt the way? Imam Obaba Oyo, Dr. York's older brother, and Dr. Sabi. He didn't give a damn. He took me under his wing. And he helped me open up my restaurant. That's right. He helped me open up my restaurant, Awalana Alkaline, when I came home. Dr. Sabi did that for me after I came home. When everybody was like, leave him alone. Oh, man, he's a murderer. He's a killer. This, that. I'm like, we ain't conscious no more. I was ROR'd, released on my own recognizance. They made me do some time now. I got out Halloween, October 31st. First time I ever taught my class, it was September 19th. First time I taught class. I remember my dates like yesterday. First time I ever taught a class in my life was September 19th. That was in the community. That was my first lecture. My first lecture was with Dr. Sadie. Yeah, I created my own language. That's true. Mr. Vegas told you that. In fact, my mentee right here has the book. He's studying the language. Come on, man. Y'all talk to me. Y'all want those books discounted rate? Y'all holler at me. Full name, phone number, and you good. Come on, this is what he does, man. He out here, because we ain't got no time to be talking things that y'all understand. It's my goal to do streams in our own language. You know? And that's one of the things that got the feds on me. Because I'm over here creating languages that they're going to have to study.
Yeah. All over.
They're going to have to study the language to understand how to infiltrate us. And when they do that, we're going to update the language. See, this is how dangerous I am, man. You got to understand, I get millions of views. Millions! I'm not saying add up these views and that become a million. I'm talking, I got videos that's doing 20 million, 30 million, 15 million. These are facts. All facts. Let's imagine the power that is for somebody that came from the hood, as we say, or the ghetto, or the trenches, or the struggle. And now, you see me traveling all over the world with some of the most highly revered personalities in media. People that host award shows. People that win fights. People that make $250 million. Okay? Just came back from Japan not too long ago. Last year alone, I went to Jamaica. I went to Thailand. I went to Jamaica. I went to Thailand. I went to Hong Kong. Where else did I go? Jamaica, Thailand, Hong Kong, Ghana, Dubai, Russia, Cayman Islands. What's this other place called? New Zealand. Took mad long. I didn't even post those. New Zealand took over a day to fly over there or something like that. It was a heck of a flight. You know, the fruit is very different. There's a hole in the ozone layer. The UVs come on you a little different. It's very interesting over there, but that's another conversation. Yep. Facts. Facts. Now, I'll then do this. Who amongst the teachers is so good at what they do that they have cosigns from people that have millions of dollars? I mean, out of everybody that's doing what they do, where are those cosigns?
Real life testimony. It's real life.
Real talk. So I then say, now let's add it all together. Amongst the celebrity community and the conscious community, because I consider these scholars celebrities. Amongst the celebrity community and the conscious community, the celebrity community outside the conscious community.
Yep.
The video cosigns of people who stamp the greatest impressions in the black conscious community. And traveling so much places around the world. I mean, that got to account for something. It got to account for something. Because these Negroes ain't traveling. And when I travel for research purposes. Who has done debates and said, I'm going to travel to this country get the knowledge, publish my findings, and do a debate on it. My PowerPoint is going to be based on my publication. Who has debated a rabbi from Israel and not disappointed the people? Who has had the debate amongst the Hebrews and said, I'm going to go to Israel and I'm going to go to Egypt and rectify the matter, and brought back documentation, not just some facsimiles, but my own published works, my own visuals, my own pictures. I got pictures wall to wall to wall, video. Like no one has ever done it before. I brought back data that we had to review and create a new narrative, because before we were only subject to what other scholars continue to regurgitate as if there isn't tons of information that needs to be translated. So pardon me when I get bored. Because I'm like, man, I did that. I done it. I don't want it no more. On my J stuff. Got mad at it. I don't want it no more. If you did it, I've done it before. You know what I'm saying? I had it, got mad at it. I don't want it no more.
Goddamn, Brooklyn. This is strong.
You know, I put the work in. I'm like, there ain't no other people debating. I don't want to be known as only a debater. I want to be known as an argumentative guy. And damn, I'm tired of having enemies, from Scientology to the Hebrew Israelites, and their many factions, to the Muslims and their many factions, to the Moors and their many factions. I don't even bother the Moors. But you know, it just doesn't stop. To the Christians, the black Christians, the pale Christians. After a while, it's like everybody's mad at me. I'm like, yo, I'm a fall back. I got children I got to raise. My life is at stake here. These people believe God can't defend themselves, so they're going to defend him for them.
To the death if need be. That's how they feel.
Yeah, Larry, what's up? I'm going to give you a ring, too. Definitely. I'm always doing meet and greets, man. I did in Dubai. That was dope, too. A lot of supporters is in Dubai, man. And Japan. I'm actually slated to do a lecture in Japan. Yes. I got booked there when I was out there with Floyd to come back to Japan and teach. So I definitely got that. I actually got a 5-city overseas tour coming up that's paying me over 75 bands to teach no more than 2 hours each time. But I'm always give up more than 2 hours. So 10 hours, 75,000. That's not bad for a 10th grade dropout. Ain't no teacher that was telling me I was going to be a failure makes that much. How about that? To teach? I've been paid 75 bands to teach for 10 hours.
It's a lifetime.
Minimum. And I get to travel 5 cities. Overseas. My school teachers after taxes probably got 35, 40 grand.
LA on strike right now.
Teachers on strike right now.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
That's wild.
Out there not being paid enough to mold the minds of our future. I agree with them. Lacking in the resources and the recompense that they do. Even if they teaching a bunch of damn lies, they still are very important for what they do teach, that we need to edify our children. They shouldn't be paid like that. But you know, it's karma too. You get hired to teach misinformation, you're gonna wind up in this type of situation. Yeah. That's how I look at it. But I'm not mad at them. Teachers should be some of the highest paid people on planet Earth, and they should be working to out-teach each other to get the biggest pay. I don't believe athletes should get the most money. But it is what it is, you know. That's the way they made their society. So how you going to encourage people to stay in school when everybody else making more money than the people who teach you in it? The garbage man makes more money than the starting teacher. And we don't look down at the garbage man, but he making more money than the teacher.
Okay, garbage man, take it. I'll take it.
No
No problem.
I'll lift the bag up.
I'll put the work in.
You already know.
That pay good.
Shit. What I've learned from dropping out of school and being around some of the most wealthiest people in our community, and just wealthy people in general in the world, I've learned you could drop out and just hire the people who learned to go to school, because that's what they really about. They about getting a job and working for rich people.
That's what they really want to do.
That didn't finish school.
It make them happy.
You know,
let me help you.
Successful college people get hired by rich people who didn't finish school. They're the pawns of the wealthy.
Cooperation.
Yeah. Go ahead and do a good job. I ain't mad at it. It's just real.
Someone's got to work this computer.
I mean, 50 said he didn't finish school, but he hired a lot of people from Harvard. It's just crazy how the world works, the paradox, the irony.
Real life. That's facts.
Yeah, if y'all want to turn up with me in Vegas, I'm there for the weekend. Y'all make that happen, man. You turn up in Brother Polight fashion. You want to rock out with me in Vegas, you come out there, show love. Y'all know I do this every year. Anybody that be keeping up with me, whether we do it in LA, whether we do it in Vegas this time around, y'all pop out. I did it in New Jersey last year. You know how I do. You know how I do. We coming out, stretch Hummers. I'm going to be pushing the Rolls Royce, leading the pack, and then sometimes I'm going to just jump in the bus or the stretch Hummer and get up with everybody and jump back in the Ghost. My wives do what we do. We're going to move around, but we're going to have fun. It's all on me. I ain't charging you nothing. You just pop out. It's all on me. Pop out. Because we gonna celebrate the fact we conscious. I don't know where everybody else going to be celebrating that night, but I know the people rolling with me, we happy that we conscious. We happy that we got knowledge itself. I just like to party about it. Other people like to keep it to themselves, keep it secret. Me, everybody say, so what are y'all celebrating tonight? That we conscious? That you what? What the hell does that mean? That we eat, we drink kale juice.
Yeah.
How about that? Kale, yeah. That's I love to celebrate. And then people ask me what you celebrate. I'm like, oh man, I'm celebrating my conscious life. We celebrate the fact we conscious. We celebrate the fact we got knowledge of self and kind. We celebrate the fact that we cream of the universe. We celebrate the fact that the black woman is God. Yeah, I just love to give them something they don't anticipate hearing. Yeah, we taking our shots, these ginger shots.
Yep.
You feel me? I just like putting it down like that. That's just me. I love to go where the heathens and the vagabonds are out, and then they go see us turn up better than them, dress better than them, more live than them, because we got live food, and they turn around, man, yo, so what y'all do? Oh, I do comparative studies of monotheistic religions in retrospect to them being influenced by cultures of antiquity. I also teach people in sports, music, and entertainment on holistic mathematics and financial advisory. You just came out the Rolls Royce, though. There's stars in the car. He just came out the Wraith. The women are wearing form-fitting clothes. Wherever do you mean you teach things that sound like you need to be smart?
That's what it looked like now.
How did you say it like that? Can you say it again?
One more time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I do comparative studies of monotheistic religions in retrospect to them being influenced by cultures of antiquity. I also teach people in sports, music, and entertainment, holistic mathematics, and financial advisory. All right, just sign me up, my nigga. Because you got way more beautiful women than I got around you. Way more paper stacks. And your skin is better than everybody that's out here tonight. Your skin is better than everybody out here tonight.
Real life.
And we can't shake the fact that that's a real smile. Yo, we should be happy that we conscious. That's all I'm saying, family. I'm not letting it. Yo, listen. Like I tell you, haters think about winners while winners think about winning. Haters think about winners while winners think about winning.
Real life. Winners circle. Winners win.
I ain't never spend day to day, hours to hours, month to month talking about some people that I don't like, or I could talk about the things that I love that's going on. That's what I want y'all to do, man. We just have fun. We gotta have fun. Don't worry, all this gonna be sharp and straightened up when we get ready to go. Woo! Wait till y'all see the outfit. I'm popping out with outfits. And I'm celebrating the fact we conscious, and I want to celebrate with you. Just come out, let's have fun, man. Just come out and have fun. DM me, Facebook me. Just always leave your full name, phone number. That's if you want the conscious advisory, if you want the consulting. Get your bread up and let's get this thing going. Stop hesitating. At least get your consultation. Get that. Yeah, I do charge $200 an hour, and I'm very proud to say that. I should charge more. That's how I feel personally. You can't put a price on the time that I take away from my friends and my family and myself to do my study, my contemplations, and my introspection. But I can tell you this. Whatever I share with you, it's going to be on the level. And then the next phase, or for some of you that's already there, the conscious advisory or the mentorship. Like, we go hard, man. I only take a few people at a time. That's what I do, especially with the schedule turning up. But once I do that 5-city overseas tour, it's a that. Yeah, I'm going to be in Las Vegas, man, for the fight. Y'all already know how that go. Doesn't matter, Larry, if you're gonna fly out. Why would I? I mean, I gotta honor your commitment. You're gonna come through. We're gonna show love. But if you're all religious on me, you know, don't come around me, because there's gonna be some big butts around, some voluptuous women. There's gonna be some form-fitting clothes. And Polight is gonna be hugged up, rubbed up, and loving sisters. And if this is too much for your heart, because you're a different type of conscious, you don't need to be around me. Because guess what? When I'm doing my thing, you could videotape me, you could post it. I don't care, because this is me doing me. Because I'm gonna live my life the way I intended. I made many sacrifices, not having the regular lifestyle of the 9-year-old, the 15-year-old, the 19-year-old, the 20-year-old, the 25-year-old. So, yo, I'm 35. I'm going to be free. I'm going to do exactly what I want to do. If you think it's shameless or distasteful, or you think I should do better, hold that thought and take notes. I'll take it into consideration when I'm done partying. And that's a fact. I ain't even lying. But right now, I ain't even going to hold you. I'm going to do me. That's a fact. I'm going to have a good time the way I conceive a good time to be. This is my free time. I won't call it free time, because I get paid throughout the day. So I don't have free time. Okay, I get paid time all day. You know, when I go to bed, money being made. That's how we got to be. But what I will say is this: and I don't like recreational time, so to speak, because it's not we wrecking creation. Like, we are destroying ourselves. We was created. People get recreational, and then they start taking in all sorts of toxins to destroy themselves. So that, you know, these words, every time I talk, I be like, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm having a debate with myself. I got to get this right. So, let's do this one more game. I like game. That's good. Sure. Something's being added. So, what I would say is, when I consecrate time to celebrate my consciousness. Hold on. Sorry about that. When I consecrate the time to celebrate consciousness and the people that are also conscious, so I'm not walking around here mumbling and talking to myself, because I learned so much information and so many people can relate that the only person that I can talk to is myself. I'm around other people that feel the same way I feel about these issues. Man, that's worth a celebration in itself, because there's nothing but knuckle draggers and zombies all over the damn place. Look at you like you crazy when you start talking this information. What you mean I'm not going to want to celebrate and have a great time? I'm going to go all the way in, man. I hope you're there. I hope you have fun. Like I said, you can make sure you hit us up, brotherpolight45@gmail.com. If you want to deal with that, just give me the subject matter. Don't send an email without your phone number. Don't do that. Send your full name and your phone number. If you want the consultation, if you want to do the mentorship, if you're looking to turn up this weekend for fight weekend, Broner versus Pacquiao, doesn't matter. You know, that's what it is. That's what it is. You know, if you're ready to get your hand on some books, discounted rate, you do that. Just call me for that. But, yo, I need those books right now. I need the Sovereign Bible. I need the Blood is Thicker Than Water. I need the Real Estate Illegal Fiction, Inequity or Iniquity, Tax Lien on Steroids, Introduction to the Tax Lien Tax Deed, Paper Terrorism, Stocks and Bonds. I mean, dang, this is what I do. Reactivating your melanin via sex, diet, and solar energy. Communicating with the heavens and its hosts via phase conjugation, coherent heart frequency. You want to talk about health? We talk about how to repair your DNA in there. Through making sure that the bag that your heart is surrounded by, called the pericardium, which is shaped just like the headdress of Usir, manipulating your breathing or your tonal speaking, so the heart could collapse upon itself to create fractal waves that are recursive, that both add and multiply simultaneously to produce the Mandelbrot set, which is an electromagnetic wave that's shaped just like the actual heart that you draw on a piece of paper, because the heart that's in your chest that's beating the blood, that is shaped by way of the bag that surrounds it, like the headdress of Usir. Has nothing to do with the heart shape that we draw. So when you learn to speak tonal languages and manipulate those tones, or breathe coherently, you cause the heart to collapse upon itself and specific formations that create a mandible set that's shaped just like the heart that we draw. And when that happens, you increase the elasticity of the DNA, and it causes a retrogradation of the DNA to form a phase conjugating mirror that will refract the light that exists within you, your consciousness, to the cosmos. And now you're being able to communicate with the heavens. And all prayer means in Hebrew is telepathy. And that's why when they have that box on top of their head, the Hebrews or the Pale Jews or the Tefillin, and they put their prayers inside the box. And you know, I mean, all this stuff is connected with just transmitting thoughts, because we know that if you just speak alone, you're not going to communicate with no God out there. They should have told these Christian folks that. Why? Because the universe, that the outer space don't have no air. In order for sound to be produced, air has to collapse on itself to make sounds. So there's no air in the universe, but you can transmit frequencies, and frequencies can be modulated. Hence the term frequency modulation, FM station. But anyway, point of the matter is, before I digress, I'm about to go somewhere else that I don't need to be going. Well, I should go there. I'm not going to say that. But I'm about to go somewhere I didn't intend to go. So what I will say is this. Repairing the DNA, great book for that. Communicate with the heavens and its host via phase conjugation, coherent heart frequency. Then we also have reactivate your melanin via sex, diet, and solar energy. And we also have desecration of the womb. We have blood is thicker than water. Okay? We have sacred geometry and telekinesis, introduction to biokinetic phenomena. Yo, my first like 30-40 books were all metaphysics. I switched over to economics, and they said all he dealt with is money. But if you looked at my first 30-40 books, you would see they were all metaphysics. I never deviated from it. Once I got my metaphysics right, I went and got the money, because the metaphysics was the cheat code to get the money. Because I always said to myself, if astrology is real, if numerology is real, you know, we teach solar numerology, okay, and past life exegesis. You know, that's what that book is. You need to get that. Solar numerology is real. So I figured, yo, if this has any substantiated factual premise to it, numerology, astrology, however you want to call it, scurology, all of this, I say, yo, I'm gonna study health, because I know there has to be a connection metaphysically with health and being able to manifest your goals or materialize your conceptions. I said, I'm pretty sure that these superfoods can create opportunities for me that are abound, that will help me materialize my conceptions. So I went over there, I went into the lab, like, yo, I wonder how much milligrams of DMT can be produced, granted the right circumstances. Now watch this. I found out that if you stay in darkness and you don't speak for over 12 hours on end, you're going to produce DMT, okay? And people be taking DMT through drugs, and they be having these transpersonal experiences and everything like that. But the drug usage is what I'm not about. I always believe that we can produce this stuff within ourselves. So then I said, I wonder how much DMT do we need to get to that transpersonal experience, or that place where we feel like we're on another plane, or we're interfacing with other entities, or we start having more of a say over how to manipulate this reality. So then I found out, if I go on a silent fast and I stay in darkness for more than 48 hours, I would create close to or more than 25 milligrams of melatonin naturally. And that is equal to the production of DMT. But who cares about this stuff, man? I'm about to get off of this, man. Yo, people don't have no clue what I really be on. You know what I'm saying? So then when I come out of that, I've already constructed the world that I'm going to live in. I've already met the people that I'm going to interface with. And I tell them, when they open their mouth and they see me for what they believe to be their first time, but they get this feeling like they did it with me about 2-3 times over. Some people 5-10 times over. When they get this sensation like, yo, I don't know, Polight. It's just, you ask any celebrity about me and they'll be like, yo, I felt like I knew him forever. I've constructed this reality. I never went to find nobody. I reeled them in because I learned how to materialize my conceptions. Because I'll go in silent mode. I'll go into the dark and not speak for over 48 hours so I can produce more than 25 milligrams of DMT so I can have an organic source to the very drug that people are abusing on planet Earth. I want it pure. You feel me? I want this pure substance. And it comes from within. You feel me? And that's all part of the communicating with the heavens in this whole five-phase conjugation, coherent heart frequency. Like this, it's crazy. You could teach this stuff. I can give you exact numbers and tell you, 25 milligrams of melatonin is going to give you that which is equal and synonymous to DMT. People, I could tell you this, right? And people are going to turn this off, not even attempt to shut up for 48 hours in the darkness to see if something special happens. You say 48 hours in the darkness, not speaking. Okay, so watch this. I'm talking about fasting and not speaking. Being in silence, in quiet, uninterrupted, to the best of your ability, 48 hours on it. To build up enough melatonin. To equal to the production of DMT. And see what you do with that. Yo, I'm giving you that exact number. But that number is hard to come by, because where the heck you going to go on planet Earth for 48 hours in quiet and not speak to nobody? You know what you start hearing when you don't speak to nobody? You start hearing yourself think. And this is why a lot of people suffer from dementia when they get in older age. They spend so much time not listening to their own thoughts that when you get older, you're forced to hear it and you think it's coming from somewhere outside of yourself. You lose your mind. Facts. All facts. You don't spend enough time being introspective and hearing yourself, you're going to start disassociating yourself from you. Facts. Man, listen. Facts. Yo, I do this for real. When people are like, yo, how you get successful? When I tell them, yo, I use metaphysics as a catalyst to get here. Like, yeah, I can get busy and I can tell you 50, 30, 20, and I can tell you about the Standard & Poor's and the S&P index and all that. I can tell you that. I tell you about common customs, the calculus system that precipitates culture. By process of differentiation, integration, we're able to find the value of smaller things, the factorials of those equivalents, thus granting us the least adverse effects from the decisions that we make. I can do all of that. But its inception is in metaphysics. But by metaphysics, we mean that which transcends classical physics, but still demands calculation, not speculation. That which goes beyond classical physics. Because there was a point in physics where people were stuck. So they said anything that comes after classical physics is going to be metaphysics. Meaning we still dealing with math and science. Not the unknown per se. I don't know, man. And this is why I be partying. I be partying because I don't want to go crazy. Because no matter how many people I'm around or who I'm with, I'm very aggressive. I'm very aggressive when it comes to seeing what's true. Mm-hmm. I will go into a third world country just to get the herb or the research or the image or the visuals so it can stamp an impression in my DNA so I can resurrect my ancestors in my consciousness. I need to upload the data or download the data from the cosmos. Via computer, at the end of the day, things are going to be uploaded or downloaded. I'm going to upload portions of myself to the universe and I'm going to download data from the universe to me. It's facts. All facts. All facts. Everywhere I go, I take a piece of the earth with me and put it in the bottle. Now I go on my shrine. I got so many parts of the world all in my shrine. And I embed each bottle with messages from shapes, tetra shapes. I lock in the memories and I put it right in that bottle. So each experience, each profound moment travels with. I'm everywhere. I'm working on being omnipresent to the best of my ability. My goal is to hit all four corners of the planet Earth and everything in between to the best of my ability. So my shrine is like some of the most powerful things take place in the darkness, within the confines of my shrine, and I just build it up. The hairs of my babies, when they were born, I'm on a whole different place. I'm in a different plane, man. I'm just making sure that they good with or without me here. I'm on wealth stewardship and metaphysical stewardship. I'm on ancestral stewardship. I'm making sure it is what it is. But you know, I stay away from this talk because I ain't about to have ignorant people ridicule me when I know the truth. Meanwhile, the real oppressors there, like, we gotta shut this mother down. So he gonna popularize this information. People gonna be going and appreciating darkness and appreciating silence and opening up their minds. These people talking about the retrogradation of their DNA and promoting the elasticity of their DNA to create phase conjugating mirrors to refract the light back from the essence from which they came. I can tell you I come from the star constellation of Leo. Within that confines Regalis, the brightest star in the Leo constellation. I can tell you that's my light per my horizon on my natal chart. I have a Gemini, I'm Gemini rising. Like, I could go in on this. Like, this is what I do. But I ain't got time for that. Because people crazy. And they don't talk to me like I'm crazy. But I know I'm using the sciences to get where I gotta go. But people want to tell you scam. And people want to tell you fraud. And people want to tell you all those different words. Because if I told you, yo, this is what it is, you would think I'm crazy. And guess what? I ain't even got to tell you something that's superhuman. You have a better chance jumping off a roof and flying than you would being silent in the dark for 48 hours by choice. You want to be superhuman? You got a better chance jumping off that roof flying. Because the real superhuman strength come when you left to yourself in darkness and not saying nothing for 48 hours. On a silent fast. And think it's just fast with food, fast without food, fast without words. Talk to no one. Speak to nobody and be left to yourself for 48 hours and see what happens. You might come back fucking nuts. Because whatever been going on up there for so long, you ain't been espoused to it in a long time. The whole purpose for meditation is to build up to the point that you can do it for that long. But people be meditating for purpose and you ain't even supposed to meditate for purpose. It's crazy out here. But they the shamans. I ain't the shaman. But guess what? I've been by Shaitan Nityama. My master taught me how to give women thousands of fucking orgasms, hundreds of orgasms while touching them. And we made sure it was demonstrated several times over to whoever was skeptical, for those of you that remember. And I even put out a publication called Open Heart Surgery. Yo, I've been around the greatest, not by accident. I created that matrix around me. I'm telling you, like, this is real out here. I'm telling you, this is real out here. This is real. This is so real. People don't even get it. People don't get it. And I ain't here, yo, if I wanted to really be on some, you know what? Let me have an occult following and start going in and tell you that I'm talking to this being and that being. I could put some shit on some people. Facts. But I keep it 100. I just go out and club like I don't know no damn better. Because if you really cooking like that, trust me, they on you. I know who BSing. If they really on you, and you wouldn't be out here degrading people's family and everything, like, when you really on it like that, you understand the consequences of being so negative up here when you got to confront yourself by yourself and come out alive. Trust me, people don't even know who they are. You will destroy yourself inside out, and that's why people don't even deal with themselves, because they will destroy themselves if they got confronted with themselves. Trust me. There's mirror exercises and applications you can run. There's a whole lot of sacred esoterical sciences that we can employ that will have you like, yo, walking around here, probably lost your damn mind because you finally got confronted with it for the first time. Talking about you got a mind. Yep. Me, myself, and I is the Trinity you. Neither one of the three are the same. Facts. Come on, man. So I said, I'm going to find the herbs that I can use to see what I can do to reconstruct my reality. I'm going to fast different ways. I'm going to solar gaze. I'm the type, I'm a guinea pig myself. But once I do enough research and science to understand what's supposed to be taking place so I can assist the herbs, or I can assist the sun, or I can assist the effects from the sun and the effects from the herbs to do what they're supposed to do, where they're supposed to do it. I like to know what is the target areas of my agenda so I can be of assistance. I don't just want to take a herb and hope the herb just make me feel good. I want to take the herb and I want to know exactly where it goes. How much salivary amylase is needed. You know, what's the path down the esophagus? I just want to know. You know, are we going to get rid of the C-reactive protein? I need to know if I need to get a hair mineral analysis. I need to know if I need a lipid test. I need to know what the estrogen and testosterone levels are. I need a food sensitivity test. I need a DNA test. I need everything to know as much about myself as possible. Ain't it called knowledge itself? Someone said, read the comments, man. Someone said, read the comments. I'm over here blacking. I forgot y'all was even there. I mean, I'm just building. Yeah, man. I'll read them later, man. I've been supposed to get off this phone. Yeah, I go hard, man. Trust me, I go hard. I go hard. I don't play games with y'all, man. I would never play games like that. I don't play. I be with this, man. Y'all, trust me, I'm with the metaphysical. But you know, people play games with the metaphysics. So I don't want to be in the category of them spooky people, man, playing around. I like to have facts backing up what I'm talking about. That's why I like to give you exact names and numbers. And, you know, I like to give you as much relevant facts that you could look up, that you could say, okay, there's a base for this knowledge. I don't want to just be telling you stuff you just trust my word for, because it just sounds cool and it caters and strokes your ego because you know you can be superhuman. But at the end of the day, are you walking around superhuman after listening to your ego be stroked? No, because nobody's giving you the applications. Nobody's telling you what you need to do, for how long you need to do it, and how much needs to be built up. No one's telling you what type of test to take so you can see where you're at and where's your starting point so you can work yourself to it. That's the problem. I got step-by-step information in my books, application-wise. Trust me. When I say do the consultations, I be waiting for the people who want the metaphysical ones. I be like, oh, we sleeping, okay. It's all right. I don't have a problem. I'm with it. I want all the smoke because I'm really about this. I work hard to be economically free so I can have my spiritual freedom. And in our language, we call that Kuina Akunu, and that's called spiritual economics, because you won't have your spirituality until you have your freedom. Facts. But I really must get off this phone. I thank y'all so much. If you're interested in the books, you easily email me, send your full name and your phone number if you're ready to get them, and we'll make it work. Larry, I definitely got you. I'm gonna holler at you. Consultations, if you're interested in purchasing a consultation, you email me. Man, I'm overloaded. Like, I'm almost fatigued after all of that. Yo, word up. But yeah, man, and then I got to finish up with my mentee, but I hope he got a great session out of it. He invoked this because I was building with him, and I'm like, you know what, if you don't mind, let me just go live and just start building and see what comes out.
I'm ready for that 48-hour fast.
My man.
Yeah, immediately. I need that.
Yo, you know what real love is, man? If like a group of us just went out and we just engaged the metaphysical applications and just was able to come out of that and interface when it's all said and done and just, do what we do. That's why I started doing those retreats. I did the retreat last year. I actually went to the retreat in Jamaica. It was a couples retreat. But I'm doing stuff in incremental and successive levels, and that's why for this type of stuff, I don't like being in the country. I like to be outside the country for it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of rural land and less compromised nature accessible to us, and just do our own thing in privacy without stress of ridicule and disrespect and compromise and naysayers, and cause I ain't got time for that. I'm not here I don't need to turn around and refute and rebuttal. Oh, right, he's doing a cult thing. Oh, okay, cool. You say all of that, but all you're gonna have is your mind when this shit go to hell. You know what I'm saying? All you're going to have is your mind. You gonna talk all that boots in the ground, kill the white man, this, that, and the third. Listen, only thing gonna save you is a strong mind. And if a group of us get together, we can create an alternative reality that we don't have to live in the projected agendas of wannabe or would-be oppressors. If enough of us fortify our minds enough, we can create the reality we want to exist in as a collective. You got whole communities that take turns making sure that they chant the Ayin or the Om principle, that they stay on D major for the harmony and for the benefit of the planet Earth, to stay on this 8-octave biorhythm. Like, you got people already committing themselves to stuff like this while we walk around day to day not even realizing they helping keep balance on planet Earth, because they understand what this planet needs, because so many people would have gone astray, which is today. We need to play our part. You feel me? But it is what it is. Don't think because I party over. No, trust me. If you don't burn out your desires will burn you out. I am an anomaly. I'm a paradox. You know, it's the type of balance that wouldn't even make sense to the average person. Cause they say 1 minute he's super spiritual over here, the next minute he in these cars flashing his money, and I've done it all on planet Earth. Cause when I leave, I ain't asking for nothing back in return. I ain't leaving here saying I wonder how anything felt. I got a lot of it off. I just can't do no homo stuff. You gotta X me out of that. You know what I'm saying? But everything else we probably can work. We can probably work it out. You know, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, we gonna keep this within the laws of nature, the way we feel. And I'm not saying this to bash nobody. I'm just not gonna be part of that. There ain't no reasons for me to deal with that. Yeah, man, but I hope y'all love the stream. This is a dope stream, man. I would like to have these kind of builds more often. But like I said, man, I'm being targeted. Like, trust me. You think that, trust me, when it comes to money and metaphysics, if you really got the sauce, they out there to stop that. It's a whole campaign to stop people who saucing when it comes to this information. Trust me when I tell you. It's a campaign. Trust me when I tell you. They can't have people on this ride motivating millions of people to connect with themselves in the universe. Are you kidding me?
They'll see through the facade.
The system will be destroyed. And in fact, the system doesn't have to necessarily be destroyed. It can remain, but we will wind up creating our own alternate version of the same. And they wouldn't get the same type of contributions from these bodies no more. It goes deeper than what I will express or be at liberty to express at this particular time. St. Lucia, that's a good one. We need to get over there. Love. Whole lot of love. Whole lot of love. Whole lot of love. Man, y'all got me in my bag. I'm out here not catching a breath. I'm just spitting, speaking. Your thoughts. Money and metaphysics. Yeah, money is actually metaphysics. It plays an integral role in metaphysics. People got to stop being mad at it. That's why they call it currency. We always talk about electromagnetivity. Like, it's real. But I love y'all. Y'all stay in tune. Y'all touch base if you're interested in any consulting, conscious advisory, mentorships, books. You want them now, you get a discounted rate. I'm getting a whole bunch of new ones actually made up right now. So I got more in the category. We got aired out the last time we did the discounted rates. Air us out again. We got aired out. I mean, my man got like 8 books in here.
9 in these ones.
He got 9 up in here. He got his. He was one of the ones that jumped all over. Pennies off of millionaires. Look at that. Look at that. Man, that's dope, man. That's hard work, man. I put work in, man, for that, man. It's one of my favorite books, Pennies Off of Millionaires. I just love the title. The title had me. Sometimes I write and then I get the title, and sometimes I get the title and I must write. I came out of a meditation and I just seen that, and I'm like, I gotta write to this title that is just befitting. And I just let it come through. I ain't never had writer's block. I write nothing at all. I write it all one time. I never had writer's block. Frank? Oh, I think it's you.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? You can just contact this brother Polight. Leave your full name and your phone number if you want the books or any other thing. I got to get off now. I'm behind schedule, but I'm right in front of time. This was worth it. I'm a little fatigued. I need to get me some coconut water or something. I gotta get back rejuvenated. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. I thank y'all so much for even the attention to detail, taking the time out to listen and connect. I'm blessed that we have an opportunity to know we all ain't going nuts. You know, when I'm telling you, when I be seeing people bugging out or gossiping and slandering, I just be looking like, yo, they are really missing out on the bigger picture. You're so busy tearing down your own, you ain't even realizing you could probably access some information from the person you tearing down and add on to what you already got. We can really do something special here. But you know what it is. Everybody ain't really in this for what it is. Some people in it for the fame. Some people in it and they see the fame that others may have gotten, but not realize it is authenticated fame. It's genuine. It wasn't premeditated. I ain't do this to be popular. You know, popularity come with so much other crazy stuff. I ain't do this to be popular. Many times I just been wanting to just really go into my zone and do what I do separate from all of this. And then you get the guilt of knowing that other people need to get this information as well. So it is what it is. And thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the best, man. Make sure you touch base if you're ready for whatever. Just leave your number and your name and we'll make it work. Thank y'all so much. Much love to you. Salute.
Ross,
peace to one of my #1 mentees right here.
On Instagram @_SafeTV.
Great. Thank y'all so much. Blessings.